Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you all very much for joining. So, I'd like to begin the class by Her Grace Nitai Sevini Mataji is on the line, I think. So, we'll give a short introduction and then we can go from there. First, we'll offer our obeisances to all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo namo
Namah Vaishnavin ki jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Her Grace Nitai Sevini Mataji was born in Mumbai in Gujarati business family, conventional followers of the Pushti Marg. Later, she, with her family, shifted to Hyderabad in 1984. Since then, she was closely connected to ISKCON Secunderabad, inspired by visits of many senior devotees. She later joined as a full-time devotee in 1997 and took initiation in the year 1998 in Atlanta, USA, from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. She has completed her graduation in Commerce, Masters in Education with PG Diploma in Management of Voluntary Organization. She is pursuing her PhD in Education from Andhra University. Presently, she is the principal of Divine Touch School, actively involved in collection, festival coordination, congregation preaching, college preaching, and shouldering management responsibility with her husband is Grace Sambadas, President ISKCON Visakhapatnam. She initiated Bhakti Yoga residential summer camp at Visakhapatnam, whereby school children stay as a devotee for 1 week in the temple, which has been very successful program. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna Mataji, if you are there, please go ahead and start.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna to all the devotees of Central New Jersey. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. So Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Apne Gurudev ki jai. So thank you very much for inviting me again for your forum. On your forum again this Sunday morning for you, Sunday evening for us. So last month, we were discussing a very, very beautiful topic of how we can become Krishna's favorite devotee. And this Sunday, we'll carry forward the same discussion. So I was mentioning that we all want to become Krishna's favorite devotee. And Krishna has mentioned it in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga, from verse 13 to 20, which we can call as Bhaktashtakam. Ashtakam, the 8 verses where Krishna is describing the qualities which he likes to see in his devotee. So last month we discussed verse number 13. I'll give a little recap of what we discussed last month, and then we will continue with today's verse. So we started with this verse, Advaishta Sarva Bhutana Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmama Nirahankara Sama Dukkha Sukha Shami. So we were discussing that how Krishna says that those devotees who are Advesha means those who are non-envious. Advesha, he likes that kind of devotees. Adveshta, Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna says Sarva Bhutanam. So he's non-envious of not one person, 2 person. He's non-envious of everybody. Sarva Bhutanam. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra. So we were discussing that Krishna says that he likes those devotees who have the quality of Maitra, that is being friendly, friendliness with everybody. So Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha. We are discussing that those who are devotees of Krishna, they have karuna, they have compassion. And then we discussed about nirmamo nirahankara. So we were discussing how nirmama means a person who doesn't have sense of proprietorship. I don't know if last time I mentioned the story of Maharaj Bhartahari. This Bhartahari, he was a great king. And one day he decided to renounce everything. So he renounced his kingdom, renounced his wife, renounced everything, and he left and was staying in a forest. And once it so happened that he was taking bath in a river. Now, when you take bath, you need to keep your towel somewhere. So he was just hanging the towel on a branch of a tree. Now, it so happened that when he came out after taking bath, he saw there's another sage who is also hanging his towel on the same branch. So both of them got into an argument, and he was like, I came here first and this is my branch and I'm keeping the towel here. Why do you have to keep your towel here? And then the big argument started between both of them. And then there was a simple washerwoman who comes to the riverside to wash clothes. And she says to both these sages, you both are saffron clad sannyasis, renunciates. Why are you fighting over a simple place to hang your towel? Just see the example of our great king Maharaj Bhartahari. He has so much renunciation. He has left his wife, children, kingdom, everything. And see, you are in saffron clad and you're fighting over a simple place to hang your towel. But she never knew that he's the same King Bhartahari, because you see, those days there is no Google to check images, so they don't know. And then Maharaj Bhartahari felt, oh my God, it's true. I gave up my kingdom, I gave up all my riches, but I still could not give up the sense of proprietorship. You get attached even to a place where you hang your cloth, or a simple place where you sit during a Sunday feast class, or a simple blanket or a pillow, or you just get attached to just about anything. So then he realized, and out of shame he hung his head and he walked away. So devotees are advesha, sarvabhutana, maitra, karuna evacha, nirmama, nirahankara. What happens? In English, there is a saying, pride comes before fall. So the moment pride enters, we know what's coming next, fall. So we have to be so careful. We see in the pastime of Ashvashira and Vedashira. You put out your earphones. We see in the pastime of Ashvashira and Vedashira, both were exalted devotees. They were doing tapasya, but they got into an argument, where for a space, and then their egos clashed and they started swearing words on each other and they ended up cursing each other. And what happened? Ashvashira and Vedashira were such exalted devotees, but they ended up getting a birth in animal species. One of them had to become crow, Kaka Bushandi, and one of them had to become a snake, Kalia. So just because of that ego clash, such exalted devotees had to come down to the level of an animal. So that is why Krishna says, I like those devotees who are nirmama, nirahankara. And then in the last line, he says, sama, dukha, sukha, shanti. So those who are devotees, in every situation, they are sama. They are equipoised. When there are happiness in their life or there is distress in their life, they are equipoised. So this is what we discussed last time. And now we'll go to today's sloka. Santushta satatam yogi yatatmam drida nischayah mayyarpitamano buddhir yo mad bhakta same priyah. I'm in love with this last line where Krishna keeps telling this, na, yo mad bhakta same priyah, yo mad bhakta same priyah. It is so sweet. Whenever these qualities become too lofty for, we feel like, my God, I don't think I can. But we should just remind ourselves of this line, yo mad bhakta same priyaha. Krishna will like me. If I let go, Krishna will like me. If I forgive, Krishna will like me. So this is very sweet for a devotee to keep reminding ourselves. We want to be favorite of somebody who is very, very important person, the supreme personality of God, and then we really need to come up to that standard. And I think this is very beautiful. So here Krishna is giving another set of qualities that he likes to see in his favorite devotees. Krishna says santushta. He likes the devotees who are santushta. Santushta, basically in English we can translate as satisfied. And I just want to clarify here that sometimes we get confused between this word satisfaction and saturation. Krishna is not talking about saturation. He's talking about satisfaction. That's very important. Sometimes we mistake saturation to satisfaction. Let's say, for example, I give you 10 pieces of gulab jamun. And then when I offer you the 11th one, you say, I'm satisfied. No, you're not satisfied. You're saturated. That's a difference. If you were satisfied, you don't want to eat that gulab jamun anymore, anytime in your life again, because you are done. But you are saturated. That means again tomorrow you would like to have a gulab jamun again. What happened? Any problem? What happened? Oh, really? Then you can just close it. You can just close it. Yeah. So we are not satisfied, we are saturated. That means the desire to eat another gulab jamun is going to come very soon. When can we say something? When can we say that we are satisfied? When the satisfaction arises from knowledge, when the satisfaction arises from love for Krishna, when satisfaction arises from experience of Krishna, then that is satisfaction. Rest, what we are all seeing is saturation. After some time, something gets fulfilled and we are happy at that moment, but then another desire comes up. See, whenever satisfaction is born out of fulfillment of a desire, it's not satisfaction. Because what will happen? Let's say I want a car, I got a desire, I bought a car. I cannot say I'm satisfied, because the very next moment I'll get another desire, and then I'll get another desire, and the cycle of desire will go on and on. That means I'm not santushta. Santushta means nothing anymore. Santushta basically does not mean that I have everything that I want. Santushta basically means that I don't feel the need to have anything anymore. That is what is, that's very, very important to understand. But if our satisfaction is born out of fulfillment of desire, it's going to come again. Another desire will be born, and then another desire will be born. But Krishna is saying here very simple. Santushta, he likes the devotees who are satisfied, who are satisfied. How do I know I'm satisfied or not? Just check yourself. Is there anything in your life you want to change? Is there any person in your life you want to change? Is there any event in your life you want to change? Are you having any complaint? Then you're not satisfied. When you are satisfied, you don't want anything. And when you are satisfied, you have a feeling of acceptance. You are ready to accept every situation, everything in your life as Krishna's prasad. Many times I tell this to devotees. Imagine you are standing in a line for taking Charnamrita. Now, when you are standing in the line, you are not having any expectation. I hope Charnamrita has a little more honey today. I hope Charnamrita has a little more of rose water. You don't care. You just stand in the line, and when the Charnamrita comes on your hand, you just take it and you're happy because you're accepting it as Krishna's prasad. Similarly, when we can accept every incident in our life, every event in our life, every situation in our life as Krishna's prasad, then you are a satisfied person. Because for everything that happens in your life, you think this is Krishna's arrangement. This is Krishna's prasad. So that is santushta. When you don't even have the need to have anything anymore. In South India, there are some devotees who are called alvars. And I remember this very beautiful pastime of one of the alvars. It's a simple devotee. And he's sitting in the courtyard of a temple. And he was in tattered clothes. So all his clothes are torn. And then he had a small quilt. And the quilt had holes. So he was sitting and stitching the quilt. And Lord Shiva and Parvati, they're just, passing by. And then Parvati is telling Shiva, such a great devotee, why not you give him something? And Shiva is like, look, he's a pure devotee of the Lord. What he needs from us, let's go from here. And she insists, no, I insist you give him something. And Shiva is like, every time you put me in trouble, okay, fine, let's go. So both of them, they go and they stand in front of the alvar. The alvar becomes very happy. He immediately pays obeisances, and I'm so happy I could see a Vaishnav like you. And he is very happy. And then Parvati is again insisting, ask. And then Shiva says, look, you had my darshan, and darshan can't go in vain. So please ask me for something. And this alvar is like, but I don't need anything. Thank you so much, but I don't need anything. And then Shiva insists, no, you have to ask me something. I can't go like that. Something you ask, little bit you ask, something you ask. Now this alvar was, when they were going on insisting, he said, what should I ask? Okay, so I'm just trying to stitch this blanket. And this needle has a very tiny hole. And the thread inside the needle is not going. I've been trying last 10 minutes. If you don't mind, can you just put this and give it to me, the thread inside the needle, so that I can stitch my torn blanket? And then Shiva is looking at Parvati. So you got your answer. You can't tempt a pure devotee. He doesn't want anything, just wants to stitch his old tattered blanket. He didn't ask anything from Shiva. That is satisfaction. When you don't have even the need to ask anything anymore. You're happy with whatever situation is in your life, and you are grateful. Satisfied people are people who are grateful. There are people you see around sometimes, no matter what they have, they always want to have something more. Like in Hindi, there is a saying, कि मेरा और आपका एक ही गम है, हर घर में एक कमरा कम है. If you have a 4-bedroom, you feel, I just had a 5-bedroom, I think I would have been more comfortable. I had just a little more wealth, I think I would have been more comfortable. And that process keeps going on and on, something like, in the olden days, when they took the donkeys, those days when they have to do laundry at the riverside, they used to pile up those old clothes on the donkey's back. And then they walk the donkey up to the riverside, and then they clean the clothes. But sometimes these donkeys are so lazy. They don't want to even move. So what the farmers or what the laundry people do is, they just tie a stick on the head of the donkey, and then there is a carrot hanging. So now the donkey thinks, if I walk a little bit, I'm going to get the carrot in my mouth. but the carrot is never going to come because it's tied in such a way, it will simply hang in front of the donkey. And that way they make the donkey walk up to the riverside and then they give him the carrot. And I think most of our lives are like that. We just running behind that imaginary carrot, and we feel a little bit, I go ahead and I think I'll get it. And I think I'll get that carrot. And in that anticipation, a person keeps working every single day. Otherwise, frankly, the many people out there who don't have to do anything anymore. Actually, they got enough, but then that imaginary carrot, somewhere I'll get some a little more happiness, or I can be a little bit more happy. But Krishna says he likes the devotees who are santushta. And then there's one very sweet word added here. He says santushta satatam. That's very important. Not sometimes, you're always satisfied. In every situation, you are satisfied. I remember in my college life reading about this very great man who's a prime minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri. So he had this, he had the monthly salary of 500 rupees. And one day it so happened that he was in a government party and one of his friend asked him for a loan. I'm in need of money. Can you lend me 5,000 rupees? And Lal Bahadur Shastri, he's so, modest. I don't have, I'm just having 500 rupees salary per month. How can I lend you such a big amount? I cannot help you. And then he meets him again after 6 months in another government party. And this man comes running to him and says, thank you so much. And Lal Bahadur Shastri is like, for what? No, that loan you gave me. So I never gave you any loan. No, your wife gave it to me. And then he goes home and asks his wife, where did you manage to get 5,000 rupees? And then she says, oh, you see, our salary is monthly 500 and I spend 400 for our, the expenses, monthly expenses. And every month I'm saving 100 rupees. So with that, I got this amount and I lend it to your friend. And immediately Lal Bahadur Shastri goes inside the library, takes a white paper, writes a letter to Government of India saying that, can you reduce my salary for, 100 rupees from next month, because 400 is enough for my domestic expenses. I don't need, so please reduce my salary 100 rupees. And I thought that was so beautiful. I had read about this in my college life and I was so inspired by this person. So that is the symptom of santushta. You're happy, you're grateful with whatever Krishna has given you. Santushta satatam. Every time, constantly. So as I just mentioned, that when it comes from desire, then the fulfillment of desire is bringing you satisfaction, then it's not satisfaction, because again the desire is going to be born again, and you'll keep on going in this cycle. See, there was this one man, funny guy, Mullah Nasruddin. He was very fat. So one day he goes to a dietitian. He says, I need to reduce my weight. Can you help me? So the dietitian tells him, sir, you are such a rich man. I don't think you need my help. What you can simply do is, you have a big golf, your own golf area, golf ground. Why don't you go and play some golf every day for a few hours and you will reduce weight? He said, that's fine, madam, I'll do that. And after 6 months, he comes back and he says, I could not lose weight. So the dietitian said, why? Didn't you play golf? He said, no, I couldn't. She said, why is that? He said, to play golf, you need to keep the ball there and you take your golf bat and you strike, right? But he said that my stomach, because of my obesity, is so huge, I can't even see the ball which is below. I struggle to see the ball. And if at all I manage to even kick the ball goes so far away because of my heavy weight. I can't even walk to get the ball. And as a result, I could not play golf. Now, this is exactly what's happening with us every single day. Because of the stomach of our desires, it is so big that what we already have, the ball, we can't see. And what we can see is too far away to get. We're not able to get there. And we keep trying, but it's not reachable. So what we have, we can't see. What we can see, we can't get. And the whole life goes on. Every single day passes on, right? We don't count our blessings. We don't even count what we already have. But we're looking for something. And then to get that, the whole life keeps going. Actually, that, what Gandhiji says, there's enough for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed. Actually, frankly, everybody is having enough what they require. What a person requires: roti, kapda, makan. He needs some food to eat, place to stay. That's about it. But then we always trying to, get a little more, get a little more. Like you say it in Hindi, ye dil mange more. You just want a little more and a little more. But Krishna says he likes santushta satatam. He likes devotees who are satisfied. Then in the next word, Krishna says, Santushta Satatam Yogi. He likes a devotee who is a yogi. What does it mean by yogi? Yogi simply means one who is connected to Krishna. Krishna says, I like somebody who is connected to me 24 hours, 365 days, 24 into 7. Now that may seem like, how is that possible? How can you be connected to Krishna 24 hours? I have my job, I have my children, I have my I have my house to take care. How do I be connected to Krishna 24 into 7? Now I'll give you one very simple practical example, which you'll understand how do we connect to Krishna 24 hours. I don't know now, but in the olden days, almost every housewife used to wear a sari, okay? And then they have a almara or something, the closet where they keep their important documents, money or thing, and then they keep it locked. And the lock, the key of that, they will tie it to their sari, while they're doing the household work. And sometimes it so happens, they lose the key. Somewhere they kept, don't know where they kept. Now I'll tell you what happens when they lose the key. They don't stop working. They're doing everything, whatever they are supposed to do. But the lost key is in their mind, So they'll be cooking, and while cooking, they'll be thinking, did I leave the key in the kitchen somewhere? Or did I leave the key near the aquaguard or no? And then let's say the phone rings in the hall. They'll go to the hall, they pick up the phone, and they'll check, do you think I left the key on the sofa? No. And then they go to the bedroom, they're dressing up the children for school. Or do you think I left the key in the bedroom? May not be. I don't know where I left the key. No, they're doing everything. They're cooking, they're sending children to school, they're cleaning the house, they're doing the dishes, they're doing everything. But back of their mind, they're thinking, where did I leave the key? Where did I leave the key? It must be somewhere. For a second also, they don't forget about the key. That's what we have to do in life. Just remember Krishna all the time. Just like the housewife is remembering the key that she has lost. We have lost that connection with Krishna. We don't belong here. We belong to Goloka Vrindavan. So just keep that in your mind all the time. It's possible. You do whatever you are doing. You do whatever work you're supposed to do. As a wife, as a daughter, as a businessman, as a student, as a job holder, whatever, you can keep doing whatever you're doing, but just keep Krishna back of your mind, and that way you can remember Krishna 24 hours. And Krishna says, that kind of devotee I like, a yogi who is always connected to me. See, it is easy to remember Krishna when you are in a temple. It's easy to remember Krishna when you are chanting, or you are attending a class, you are in a Sunday program, you are associated with a lot of devotees around you, and you remember Krishna. That's all right. But Krishna doesn't give you marks for that. Krishna gives you marks when you remember him when you are not in the temple. Krishna will give you marks when you remember him when you are preparing a PPT to show it to your partner. Krishna will give you marks when you remember him while you're cooking. Krishna will give you marks when you remember him when you're in a grocery store buying some bread and cheese. But Krishna will give you marks when you are on a construction site and you're remembering him. So he will give you marks for all those times when you are not directly involved with him, but you remember him. He's in your thought. He's in your mind. He's always in your mind. And for that, Krishna gives marks. And that is the secret of bhakti life, right? That is a standard actually. Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. He expects that from him, from us, that we remember him 24 hours. See, I run a school, and when we set a exam paper for the children, we tell them, short answers, 5 marks. Essay answers, 10 marks. 2 marks for neat handwriting. We set up the paper. Krishna has also set up a paper for us like this. Somebody remembers me in the temple, 5 marks. even in provocating situations where they're completely surrounded by Maya, whether in their business, in their school, in their college, in their office, while cooking, while traveling. How many times do we remember him? And he gives marks for that. And we score more when we remember him where the situation is such where it's difficult to remember him. And for that, he gives us marks. So Satatam Kirtayantoma. Krishna wants us to become a yogi, connected to him all the time. Lord is not our, bhakti is not a desert in our life. It's not optional. Okay, if I'm free, I'll do it. Bhakti is the main course. What we are now doing at the job and the business and the other responsibilities and the education, these are all the side dishes. These are all like those dressings which you put, some kind of a pickle or a salad or a dessert. But Krishna is the main course. Remembering Krishna is the main course. So if we remember Krishna all the time, then we become his favorite devotee. And that can be done when we remember him, when we be connected to him. How to be in that consciousness all the time? Be conscious that Krishna is conscious of you and Krishna is with you and Krishna is looking at you. Nowadays, especially with the CCTV cameras, wherever you walk, there will be a board. You are under CCTV surveillance. You see that there are boards everywhere like that, so that you are conscious, wherever you're walking, you've been watched. That's all. If you just keep that board in your hearts, in your mind, you are under Krishna's surveillance. Krishna is watching you all the time. You are under Paramatma's surveillance, CCTV. We're carrying a CCTV with us. Krishna is looking at us all the time. Now I'm talking to you. He's looking at me. He's hearing. You're hearing. He's looking at you. He's all the time with us. When we are under that consciousness, we can be always connected to him. And if we are connected to him, then Krishna likes us and we become one of his favorite devotee. So, Santushtam Satatam Yogi. Then the next line. Yatatma. Yatatma means, see, just now we said yogi means to get connected to Krishna. Yatatma means to remain connected to Krishna. It's easy to get connected to Krishna. What is difficult is to remain connected to Krishna. How do I remain connected? Okay, I get connected to him somehow or the other, but how do I remain connected? So Krishna gives an answer for this. He says, Yatatma. Yatatma means one who is self-controlled. That means one who dovetails his senses in service of Krishna. That's the only way to control our senses. Otherwise, there is no other option. Senses are very powerful. They just drag us here and there. But instead of trying to control them or subdue them, what we simply do is we just dovetail them. So then we use those same senses which we were using to satisfy ourselves. We now use those same senses to satisfy Krishna. And that's it. And then they become spiritualized. So that way we can remain connected to Krishna all the time. So yogi, yatatma. Yogi means to be connected. Yatatma means to remain connected to Krishna. So by serving Krishna regularly, we can fight Maya. We can fight Maya. Next to our Vishakhapatnam ISKCON temple, there is a zoo here. And, you will see many times the small little children here, and then they're holding the hands of their mother, and then they stand near the cage of the lion. And when the lion roars, they also roar, and they're not afraid. When the monkey makes faces, they also make faces. Then they're not afraid. Why they're not afraid? Because they have their mother's hand, and they keep holding the mother's hand, and then they get all the courage. So this is what we need to do. Maya is so powerful. But if we just hold Krishna's hand, we are yatatma. We remain connected to Krishna. Then we can roar at Maya. Maya can't do anything. So, okay, I want to be connected to Krishna, but sometimes my connection gets broken. What do I do? So we need to be in association of devotees. When we take association of devotees who have strong connection to Krishna, then we also get connected to Krishna. So we need to take association of devotees. When we are in association of devotees, then we become very strong. See, even in the forest, the deers, they're so sharp. They're always walking around in herds. They'll never be alone anywhere. Why are they in herd? Because when they're together, lion can't attack. But sometimes, some little deer here and there may get attracted to some sweet, juicy green grass, and they may stay back. Okay, the herd is going in the front. I'll just join them in a minute or so. Let me enjoy the grass here. And the moment they do that, they start enjoying the grass. The herd, the other deers will go in the front, and lion will say, now I got this little one alone, and now I'm going to attack. So this is what Maya is waiting for. Let me get this guy all alone, and then let me see how big bhakta he is. So why do give that opportunity? Just be always in association of devotees. Be always in association of devotees. Now, how do I be always in association of devotees? I need to work, need to go for my job. I can't, keep devotees with me all the time. So there's so many ways. Be connected through katha. Always keep hearing katha, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, remembering your deities, hearing some kirtan. And if you're always these are like our nourishing kavach. So then wherever we go, we are like with our armor. So now when we are in the battlefield fighting with Maya, our armor is there. It'll protect us. So yatatma, Krishna says, santushta satatam yogi yatatma. Self-control. So those who are connected and remain connected to Krishna, Krishna likes them. Krishna likes them. And this yatatma, this connection to Krishna is only possible when we try and take association of devotees. Because sometimes we get connected very nicely. Go for a Vrindavan Yatra, Kartik month, you are super connected, super charged. And then you come back and then the charge goes down. Purushottam month, you're supercharged. Damodar month, you're supercharged. But then the month is over and then you go down. But then you need to again rekindle. You see, when you are in a pitch dark forest, it's very cold, very dark, and you are somehow trying to light up a fire. It will be very difficult because you have to go and get those some branches, some wood, some twigs here and there, collect them, rub two stones, somehow get the fire done. That's all right. That by itself is difficult. But what is difficult is to keep the fire going. That is very difficult. Now, since the fire is on, you can't drowse. Now you have to keep the fire going. So you have to keep on getting more twigs and keep the fire on. This is what happens in Krishna Bhakti. Guru Krishna Kripate Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. Somehow by mercy of some Vaishnava, some devotee, you'll get Bhakti Lata Beej. You'll get it. You'll get the fire. You'll make it. By your Purva Janma Sukruti and some accumulation, you'll do it. Now you have to work harder to keep the fire on. You have to keep on working, and rendering some or the other service, being in connection with devotees and keep the fire on. So satatam, is possible only when we are in association of devotees. So santushta satatam yogi. Next, go to the next one. Yatatma drida nischaya. If you just observe, last month we discussed around maybe 7 qualities. And if you observe, all these 36 qualities, you will see that hardly 3 or 4 qualities has something to do with Krishna. Rest of the qualities has everything to do with what you do, what you talk, what you speak, what you walk, what you think, how you behave. Everything mostly is about that only. And by that we understand that more than our chanting or this, what Krishna is observing is how we are as a person. It's very important. What is our mentality? How do we behave with other devotees? How we talk, how we move, our vyavahar, our behavior is what will attract Krishna's attention. That is so important. What we think, how is our behavior with other devotees is very important. Because with Krishna, out of these 36, hardly 3 or 4 things, 4 qualities have something to do with Krishna directly. Rest is how you behave with other devotees. That's very important. So next Krishna says, I like a devotee who has Druda Nischaya. Druda Nischaya. And I found this very sweet. Why? Because Nischaya means determination. Druda Nischaya means firm determination. Now, determination by itself means firm. Otherwise, what's the point of determination? Means firm. Otherwise, what is meaning of determination? But still, Krishna uses 2 words. Firm, determination. That means it's like trying to emphasize that determination, firm determination. Right? I feel this is something like, if I call somebody, he's an unmarried bachelor, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, he's unmarried. Yeah, he's bachelor. Now I don't have to say unmarried bachelor. Bachelor means unmarried. But when I'm using two words, it's just that I'm emphasizing something. So same thing Krishna is saying, Dridha Nischay. I like a devotee who has firm determination. And I thought this was so sweet. You know, these qualities that Krishna mentioned in this 8 verses, such jewels, you know. I mean, I feel even one quality to get in a, you know, may take lifetimes to get, you know, get these qualities in us. So here Krishna says, Dridha Nischaya. And I think this is going to happen. See, if somebody is adveshi, if somebody is advesha, sarva bhutanam, and somebody is maitra, and somebody is full of karuna, and somebody is santushta, and somebody is yogi, connected to Krishna, then definitely he'll have Dhrudha Nischaya. Dhrudha Nischaya means the Nischaya or determination to control our senses and direct them in Krishna's service. Basically, our determination to serve Krishna is hindered only by our senses when we're not able to control them. But if we are already a yogi and we're connected to Krishna and we are yatatma, remaining connected to Krishna, then Dhrida Nischaya is not a big thing. It will come automatically. Automatically, you will have a firm determination to continue in Krishna's service. So Krishna says, I like devotees who are having a firm determination. That means it's not that one day you chant 64 rounds and then you become a Haridas Thakur, and the other day, and the next day you are in Christmas party and Halloween party. Now, what we're talking about here, Dhrudha Nischaya, is consistency. You know, you don't deter from your Krishna conscious status. That is what Krishna is talking about here. You know, not that one day you become great devotee and the other day you are, you know. So yeah, Dhrida Nischaya. You know, during this coronavirus, I made an observation. You know, when the government opened the lockdown and the liquor shops were open, and I went for a drive to the city, to my school, and I was amazed to see all these drunkards. They had formed lines to buy these liquor bottles, and they were not bothered about corona, whether corona happens or even if we get infected, we don't care. We need to drink, that's it. They were so determined to drink liquor. And when I was just driving around the city, I thought, wow, you know, if we can have the determination in Krishna consciousness, I don't care what happens, I want to be Krishna's devotee. It's some lesson to take from them. You know, they're so determined, you know. So when we have that determination in Krishna bhakti, I want to be Krishna's devotee. Now that kind of devotee Krishna likes. We see the determination in Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj didn't give up. Prahlad Maharaj didn't give up. Dhruva Maharaj didn't give up. Dhruva Maharaj was a young little boy, 5-year-old, but he didn't give up his determination and he saw Krishna face to face. Prahlad Maharaj, he didn't give up his determination. Hiranyakashipu gave him all sorts of trouble. Imagine if it's you and me in place of Prahlad, you know, and Hiranyakashipu is torturing us like that. I think I would tell him, it's okay, man, you are God. Okay, I believe it. Leave me alone. Please, I don't want to be put in the snake chamber and put with to the elephants and thrown from the water. It's okay. I believe you are God. Leave me alone. But Prahlad Maharaj was determined. You know, that's why they are there in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, because of their determination. No matter what happens, what situation, they will not deter from loving Krishna and serving Krishna. And Krishna likes that kind of devotees. That's why so many times there's so many tests happens in devotees' life where Krishna checks our determination. And if we still don't give up, and then Krishna is all open with his arms and he accepts us. So here, Dhrida Nischaya, Krishna likes those devotees who have Dhrida Nischaya. We also have a Hiranyakashipu in our lives, though we are not Prahlad, but we do have a Hiranyakashipu in our lives. And I think that Hiranyakashipu is the smartphone. The smartphone is causing a havoc in our life, right? Keeps disturbing us. When we are ready for chanting, a notification pops up and some message pops up, and then we get tempted to answer, and we think it may be important. Let me just finish up this one message, this one email, you know. Sometimes I feel that, you know, like in our Vaishnav calendars, we have today is Bhakti Vinod Thakur appearance day, fasting up to 12. I think they should also put once in a week fasting from cell phones, fasting from smartphone today up to 12 o'clock. If we can do that, we can read our scriptures and do our chanting so nicely. If we have that in our Vaishnav calendar, fasting from smartphone. So, Santushta Satatam Yogi Yatatma Drida Nischayaha. And Drida Nischaya is a resolve to be in a Krishna conscious in every situation of our life, no matter what kind of provocating situations we face in our life. You see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sikshashtakam, what he says. He says, Aslisya va padaratam pinastu va madarshana marmahatam karoto va yatha tathava vidhati lampato matprananatha susayavana para. So, Dridhanishchaya means that no matter what happens in our life, we are patient. We don't give up Krishna consciousness. Just because Krishna does not fulfill one or two of our desires, we don't start worshipping Shiva. We don't start worshipping Durga. We don't start worshipping demigods. Because Krishna is not fulfilling my desires, so better I start worshipping Shiva or Durga. No matter what happens, we don't leave Krishna. And even apparently we don't feel any reciprocation from Krishna, we still don't give up on Krishna. Like this, Mirabai, Mirabai in one of her bhajans, she says, Jo tum todo piya main nahi todu, to se sang tod Krishna kaun sang jodu. Jo tum todo piya main nahi todu. She says, my Lord, even if you don't respond, that's all right, but I won't leave you. It's okay. If you don't respond to my prayers, you don't reciprocate for my feelings, it's all right, but I won't leave. That's the attitude a devotee needs to have. And one who has that firm determination and doesn't leave Krishna, no matter what happens in his life, Krishna doesn't leave him too, and then you become a favorite devotee of Krishna. We'll go to the next point. It says, the Lord says in the next line, he says, Mai arpita mano buddhir. Now the Lord is saying, I want two things. I like a devotee who gives me two things. Mai arpita mano buddhi, who gives me man, his mind, and buddhi, intelligence. That kind of devotee I like very much. If you see elsewhere also in Bhagavad Gita, so many places Krishna talks about this. He says in the 9th chapter, sloka number 34, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, he asks for the mind. And here he says, Mai arpita mano buddhi. And then even in the same chapter, 12th chapter, sloka number 8, he mentions, he says, Mai eva mana adhatsva mai buddhi niveshaya. Niveshishya mai eva ata udhvam na samshaya. If you give me your mind and intelligence, you will live in me. For that, there's no doubt. So many places Krishna is saying there's two things he wants, our mind and intelligence. He's not asking our body. Body will give up anyway. Here, we'll give up the body this lifetime here and leave. He's asking our mind, because mind is what we carry with us. Body we leave, mind will carry with us in every species. If we change the body from this body to another body, we carry the same mind cannot be exchanged. Same mind you have to keep with you till you go back, till your subtle body gets dissolved. But we have a gross body and we have a subtle body. The gross body we leave it here, but the subtle body of mind, ego, intelligence, we carry with us in every lifetime, and that doesn't get dissolved till we actually go back to Krishna. So that is why Krishna is not worried about our body. He said, I want your mind and I want your intelligence. These two things I want. The devotee who offers me his mind and intelligence, he's my favorite devotee. So we need to offer our mind to Krishna. It's so important to work on our mind. See, Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatante kalevaram tam tam ivete konteya sada tada bhava bhavita. He's mentioning here also that where is your mind? Where is your mind? Where your mind is, you'll go there. That means at the end of the life, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are thinking in the mind, we will go to that destination. That means we really need to work hard on our mind. That is why you see all the Vaishnav bhajans, they're always saying Bhaja Hure Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. All the Vaishnav acharyas are talking to their mind. Oh mind, please worship Krishna. Because they are worried about the mind. This mind has to somehow or the other get fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. So this mind has a different layers. We have 7 layers of mind. There is a conscious mind, there's a subconscious mind, there's an unconscious mind, there's a super conscious mind, there's an ultimate conscious mind, there's a spontaneous mind. There's so many layers of mind. Mind by itself is a very complex thing. Somehow or the other, if we can fix it on Krishna, otherwise it will make us dance. See, different people have different kind of mind. There's some people who have a donkey mind. Donkey mind is a lazy mind, lack of energy, no vitality, always confused, lazy. There's some people who have monkey mind. Mind is very restless. Sometimes want to be Krishna conscious, sometimes doesn't want to be Krishna conscious, always, confused between 2 extremes. And then sometimes some people have a butterfly mind. So butterfly mind means they sit on the flower for some time and then sometimes they just go around. That means sometimes they become Krishna conscious, but then sometimes they just forget about Krishna. So there are, of course, I'm giving these names, but these are not the names mentioned in the scriptures. The scriptures have different name for this mind. The mind is Mudha, Shipta, Vikshipta, Ekagra, Niruddha. These are the different stages. I'm just trying to give examples that you can remember them easily. So Mudha means donkey mind, lazy mind, doesn't want to do anything. And Shipta is monkey mind, always jumping from here and there, restless mind, fickle mind. And then butterfly mind is like a vikshipta. That means sometimes Krishna consciousness, but then sometimes just moving around. But what we want is ekagra mind. That is a mind of a crane. The crane is inside the water, just like a statue, it doesn't move. It's like focusing that when will I get the fish, only then I will open my mouth. Otherwise it will remain like a statue. And the best is niruddha. That is like the ultimate focus where there is consistency. See, sometimes in the butterfly mind, the vikshipta mind, there is no consistency. In the donkey mind, there is a lack of energy. In the monkey mind, there's no steadiness. The butterfly mind, there's lack of consistency. Sometimes you are Krishna conscious, but then sometimes you are not. So we need to really work on our mind. How do we make our mind ekagra? How do we make our mind niruddha? How do we make our mind, to a stage where we always remember Krishna and we never forget Krishna? How do we do that? So we need to continuously work on that, because Krishna says, Mayarpita mano buddhi. I want your mind and I want your intelligence. When we engage our mind and intelligence in serving Krishna, then Krishna becomes very happy. We become one of his favorite devotees. Krishna wants our mind. He's a monopoly God. If you tell Krishna, I like you, I love you, but I love this person also, but I love this person also, but I love this person, then Krishna doesn't want that. Only me. That's it. Only him. He's a monopoly God. He just wants only we should love him only, and then you become his favorite devotee. He doesn't want anything between you and him. So, ekagra mind. How is that possible? Because mind is having so many thoughts, so many things is happening in our mind. What we need to do is, if we are serious about Krishna consciousness, we need to take steps in this direction. That means we need to reduce our anti-devotional activities, our non-devotional activities. We need to reduce the frequency or occurrence, whenever we engage in those activities, because both the things simultaneously is not possible if we are serious in Krishna consciousness. I'll continue my non-devotional activities and I'll also be Krishna conscious is not possible, because what will happen if you are too much engaged in non-devotional activities and anti-devotional activities, then the mind becomes very impure. And then, even when we are hearing Krishna Katha, even when we are doing japa, it's not going inside. It's not touching us, because the heart is so full of all these materialistic activities. if you want to understand this nicely, if anybody of you have been to Mayapur and if you have taken prasadam in Gada Bhavan, there are thousands of people eating together and they come and serve you hot prasadam. There'll be rice and dal and paneer sabji and pakoras and everything. And then you take a second helping and you take a third helping. And when you're almost done with your prasadam and you are finished and you think, now my plate is done, I should go and wash hand, they'll tell you, wait, now we'll give you kheer. Now we'll give you the mango chutney. We'll give you kheer. And I think this is so special because if they give it before, it'll get mixed with rice and dal, and then we can't get the taste of it. But when your plate is clean, and now when they give you kheer and mango chutney, you can relish that. This is what happens to us also. The mind is so full of materialistic activities. The mind is so full of so many things that you've been doing whole week that Krishna Katha will not touch. And then we'll blame it on the speaker. Actually, when that Prabhu speaks, I really enjoy. But when that Mataji speaks, I don't like the class. But when this person speaks, it's not about the speaker. It's about your heart. When your heart is pure, no matter who speaks, anybody speaks Krishna Katha, you like it. You'll enjoy. You'll relish every moment when somebody's talking about Krishna. But our heart is not clean and then we blame it upon the speaker. Today's class was not so good, but yesterday's class was very good. Yesterday, your mind was not correct. You were not in the right frame of mind. Your mind was not clean. So you couldn't, the Krishna Katha didn't touch you. The japa didn't touch you. Right? So this is about it. So we need to stop our non-devotional activities, or at least reduce them to a considerable level. Then we can relish Krishna Katha, we can relish japa. So, santushta satatam yogi yatatmam dhrida nischayaha. Krishna loves those devotees. Mayarpita mano buddhi yomad bhakta same priyaha. Krishna says, that kind of devotee I like very much, who is having all these qualities. We have another 10 minutes to go. I'll take another small sloka, continuation of this. In the next sloka, Krishna says, Yasmano dvijate loko, lokano dvijate chayah, harshamarsha bhayo dvege mukto ya sachame priyah. Again he says, sachame priyah. What kind of devotee I like? Yasmano dvijate loko, lokano dvijate jayah. Yasmano dvijate loka means I like the devotee because of whom nobody is put into trouble. He doesn't disturb anybody. Lokano dvijate chayah. And he is not disturbed by anybody. He doesn't disturb anybody, and he doesn't get disturbed by anybody. And I think this is so sweet. So sweet. Of course, those who are having all these good qualities, why will they disturb anybody? A devotee is incapable of disturbing anybody. He knows only two things. If somebody disturbs him, he forgives. And if somebody does not disturb, he gives. He gives love. Either he's giving love or he's forgiving. These are the only two things he's capable of. That's what a devotee is capable of. He doesn't know the third thing, what to do. If somebody is nice, they're happy, they give love. If somebody is not nice, they forgive. So Krishna says, one who does not put others in difficulty, that kind of devotee I like. So we have to bring ourselves into that bracket. We have to just check ourselves by my behavior, by my talks. Am I putting any other devotee in difficulty? Sometimes we may not be putting anybody in physical difficulty, but sometimes by our words, we may be hurting somebody. And we don't even realize. We have to be so careful by our man, vachan, by our kaya, by our body, mind, behavior, that we are not hurting somebody. We have to be very careful, because Krishna says he likes that person who doesn't disturb anybody. I think those who are devotee of Krishna and those who are connected to Krishna, definitely they will not disturb anybody. Why? Because when you're connected to somebody, you slowly get the qualities of that person. If you keep on thinking, in Padma Puran it says, about that person whom you keep on thinking, 1% of that quality you get. So imagine 1% of Krishna's quality. If you're connected to Krishna all the time and you're thinking about Krishna all the time, then you get that quality of Krishna. Krishna is peaceful. Krishna doesn't trouble anybody. Krishna is very sweet. So devotees also become sweet and they become very peaceful. And they don't cause trouble to anybody, right? It's like coronavirus. You see, you go next to a person who is suffering from corona, you'll get corona. So now you are associating with Krishna, then you get qualities like Krishna. It's as simple as that. And because Krishna is peaceful, devotee is also peaceful. So those who are the pure devotees of the Lord, favorite devotees of the Lord, they're very peaceful. They're very peaceful. Their aura is very graceful. Wherever they go, they give happiness to people around them. Right? So here it says, does not put anybody in difficulty. Wants to give love to anybody, or either he's only forgiving. And not only one person or two person, universally. They like everybody. Anybody they come across, they like them. They want to give them some love and affection. I remember in my student life, I used to read a lot about Gandhi. And Gandhiji was influenced by three people in his life. One was John Ruskin, and the other was Tolstoy, and then also Rai Chandji. And he used to follow them a lot. And there's one very nice book by John Ruskin. It's called Unto This Last. It's, of course, an essay on economy. It has nothing to do with spirituality. Because I was reading those books when I was doing my economics in college. So this Unto This Last by John Ruskin, it has different essays about economy. And there's basic theme is, Ruskin says that till the last person, everybody should get all the facilities equally. That's what he's trying to say. And I was thinking that in a spiritual context, that even we should have that mentality, unto this last, unto just everybody. Not that, not like our Sunday feast in ISKCON, who comes in the beginning, gets lots of kheer and paneer sabji, and the end there's nothing remaining for the last person. No, unto this last. That means every single person that we come across, we get connected. We should make sure that they're not disturbed by us, and we give them whatever we can, love, affection, respect. And that's very important. So this is one thing. Does not put anybody in difficulty. And the second thing is, does not get disturbed by anybody. Yeah, they'll not get disturbed by anybody. Why? They'll not get disturbed by anybody, those who are favorite devotees of the Lord, because they're so much connected to Krishna that what other people say doesn't make any difference to them, because they're so rich with Krishna's love. Sometimes, let's say, your children are studying in one room, let's say, okay, and the air cooler is on, or the AC is on, and the fan is going on, and then the child is hearing some loud music in the Walkman, and the door is locked. And then you're going on calling him, are you coming for dinner? Are you coming for dinner? And they can't hear, because there's so many things happening in the room. There's something on the desktop, some music in the ears, fan is going on, AC is going on. You have to go and, knock on the door. Are you coming out for dinner? And then the person will open. Oh, are you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. For a long time, I've been shouting your name. Now, why did this happen? Because he's so much connected with that music. There's that happening, that what you say, he can't hear. This is what happens with the devotee of Krishna. He's so much connected to Krishna. He's so much connected to Krishna that what you say, he can't hear. What is happening outside will not even make an echo inside, because he's so full of Krishna. He's so full of Krishna's love that what you're talking doesn't make much difference. So yeah, he does not get disturbed by anybody. Neither he disturbs anybody, neither he gets disturbed by anybody. And then in the last line, he says, Harsha Marsha Bhayo Dvega Mukto Ya Sachame Priyaha. A devotee of Krishna is equipoised in Harsha. Harsha, happiness, distress, anxiety, in fear. In every situation, the devotee of Krishna is equipoised. Now, how can he remain equipoised? Because he knows it's Krishna's arrangement. Because he knows Krishna is his well-wisher. Because he knows that Krishna is not only the driver of Arjuna, he's a driver of all of our life's ratha, the chariot of our lives too. He's planning our life. Every moment he's planning our life. We don't have to worry, how can he plan my life? I'm not a pure devotee. Why will he plan my life? He has so many devotees. How will he get time to plan my life? Don't worry, you have a customized Krishna in your heart who only belongs to you. He's your Krishna. And he has nothing to do with that devotee's life or that devotee's life. His only worry is your life. And he's always thinking about you. And he's inside your heart, Paramatma. And he's always planning your life. What will happen? What should I do for this devotee? What he'll do after 10 years? He's planning your whole life. That's why devotee is not afraid. See, I'll tell you what's the definition of fear. Fear basically means the difference between your plan and Krishna's plan. That's fear. That is a fear. See, if something is happening according to your desire, you should be very happy. But if something is not happening according to your desire, you should be happier, because then it's happening according to Krishna's desire. There are only two things here. There is no third person in between. you're asking something to Krishna, Krishna fulfills, and things happen according to your desire. If it's not happening according to your desire, that means it's happening according to Krishna's desire. There is no other third person. Tell me, if it's not happening according to your desire, then it's happening according to whom, is my question. That means it's happening according to Krishna. So now tell me, when it happens according to your desire, it's better, or when it happens according to Krishna's desire, is better? Definitely, because Krishna is better, he's smarter than us. That's it. So when things don't happen according to us, we need to be happy, because then we know it's happening because of Krishna's desire. So that's why devotee is not afraid, because he knows everything happening in his life is having Krishna's intervention. So whether there is no fear, there's no bhaya, there's no anxiety. I remember when we were young, myself and my younger sister, we used to always sing this beautiful poem in English. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. Mare Krishna rakhe Krishna mare ke. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. If you are getting some problem, that it's Krishna's arrangement, that's for sure, because there's no third person who can do something to you. It's Krishna who's doing whatever is happening in your life is Krishna's arrangement. So yeah, I personally in my life, I had this one line which I keep reminding myself, whatever situations I face, Jai Hari Kare Se Mama Hita. Whatever Hari is doing is Mama Hita, for my good. That's all. So no matter, sometimes it's not that, I also see sometimes situations which is like completely like I didn't expect, or I'm not enjoying that situation. I'm not happy over what has happened. But I just remember this line and I convince myself, Jai Hari Kare Se Mama Hita. Whatever Lord is doing is for my good, because he's my well-wisher. That's it. And if we can just remember this one line, we can be peaceful in all situations. So a devotee is equipoised, because a devotee knows that after day there is night, and after night there is day. So today, if you are very happy, don't become too happy, because you don't know. Maybe misery is just around the corner and it's going to knock your door very soon. And if you are miserable, don't be so sad, because maybe happiness is just around the corner and it's going to knock your door. No situation is permanent. We don't have to become so happy and excited about the good things also in what happens in our life, because our source of happiness keeps changing. I remember when I was young, my brother, for the first time, he went to Germany and he got me an eraser. And I was so excited about that eraser. I kept it in my compass box. I used to take it to school every day. I never erased anything with that eraser, because I really wanted it to stay with me. So I used to carry another Natraj rubber for erasing, but that is only for showing my friends. It's from Germany. My brother bought it for me. And that was source of my happiness. It was everything for me. That eraser, nobody should touch. It's mine. That was my source of happiness. But I don't know now, where is that eraser? I don't know. So that means, what was my source of happiness then is not the source of happiness now. And I'm sure whatever is the source of my happiness today may not be my source of happiness after 6 months. So it's going to keep changing. What you think today is like, oh, this is the most important thing in my life. Maybe it's not going to be important anymore, just after a few months or just after a few days. So don't get so excited about anything. Right? So the only thing a devotee gets excited about his relationship with Krishna. And if he can do some service for Krishna, that's his only asset. Rest everything in life, it goes up and down. It'll keep changing. So yes, there will be troubles. Not that devotees don't face trouble. Devotee is equipoised in happiness, distress, fear, and anxiety. Yeah, there will be fear, there will be anxiety, there will be lots of problems. It's not that devotee's life is full of roses, so there are many thorns they also have to face. But the only difference is, devotee's analysis of the situation is very clear. There's no confusion. They're very clear about the analysis of the whole situation. And that is why they are able to remain equipoised. And they accept the challenges, whatever come, that's why, I'm in South India, and what I like about South India is the South Indian thali, because that has something which is very spicy, and then it has something which is very sweet, and then something which is pungent, something which is sour, and it has all varieties. And I think that makes the dish yummy. Imagine you just have sweet and sweet and sweet in your thali. You have gulab jamun, and then you have halwa, and then you have rasmalai. It doesn't make sense. That's how our life is. Sometimes there are ups and then there are downs, and that makes it interesting. And that makes you more dependent on Krishna. When you face challenges, when you face problems, when you face issues, then you get more close to Krishna and you develop a relationship with Krishna. So yes, devotees also face problem, but the only thing is their inner strength is so strong. I think yesterday or day before, I was having a session with the Malaysia Youth Forum, and I was just telling them that the definition of stress, problems, issues, stress is equal to external factors upon internal strength. External factors, we can't do anything about it. They're not in our hands. The only thing we can do is increase the denominator, our inner strength. So if the external pressure is 10 and your inner strength is 8, then is equal to stress will be only 2. Yeah. But if your inner strength is very less and the external pressure is high, then the quotient, the stress increases more. So we can't do anything about the external factors. But as a devotee, what we can do is, if we can remain in connection with Krishna, then our inner strength increases. And when our inner strength increases, then we can face any situation in our lives. So yes, devotees are equipoised. That's why the devotee should not travel in train, travel in flight. And I don't mean it literally. What I mean is, the train, it'll keep on changing its track, but a flight will go smoothly. So when you get too much attached, to things which are happening in your life, then it will be like, sometimes you're in this track and that track. If you're elevated in Krishna consciousness, traveling in flight, then the small little things won't affect because you're so much connected to Krishna. So that's about it. Yasmano dijate loko lokano dvijate chaya harshamarsh bhayodvege mukto ya sachame priyaha. Doesn't disturb anybody, doesn't get disturbed by anybody, and is equipoised in all situation. And that kind of devotee I like very much, is what Krishna says. So with this, we close to 3 verses and almost completed 15 qualities out of 36 qualities that Krishna wants to see in his favorite devotee. So I pray from the core of my heart to Shri Radha Damodar, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Gaur Nitai, that all of us who are present today in this forum, somehow by Krishna's blessing, develop at least some qualities in our hearts and become Krishna's favorite devotee. Thank you so much. So with this, I'll end the class and I'll open it up for any questions, suggestions, corrections. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Madhupada Prabhu. Are there? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we have a few questions, Mataji. First one, Gokul Priya Mataji, you want to go ahead, please?
Yes, sure. Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class, Mataji. I heard your first lecture during Purushottam month, and it was like waking up from a slumber. So thank you everything that you're doing in service of Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, I've had a couple questions. My first question was regarding, in Krishna consciousness, and actually you covered that in your class as well. It gives us a mindset, a toolkit to deal with life situations. However, sometimes, you might have a loved one. It could be a family member or anybody, your parents, your child, a very close friend. They might be suffering, right? And they might not have faith. But they, when your loved one suffers, you suffer, right? They hurt, you hurt. And, you feel like, there's this, and maybe it's joint karma also, and you feel like there's this big wall of karma because why are you suffering then, right? And you don't feel that your chanting is that effective to take this wall down. What can you do in this situation?
Okay, so what I understand your question is that, yes, sometimes the people around you whom you love very much are suffering, And you answered your question that it may be joint karma, because when people around us suffer, we suffer too. So yeah, what do we do about it? Yeah, so we just pray to Krishna. We just pray to Krishna. But as you rightly said, this is joint karma, and that is why we are also feeling the suffering when we see them suffer. So yeah, we just pray to Krishna. We just pray to Krishna, and I don't know if you're trying to ask me that how do you remain equipoised at that time. Yeah, so you understand that Krishna is our well-wisher, and maybe we're supposed to suffer a little more, but maybe because Krishna is so kind, and now because we are connected to him, maybe he's reduced our suffering. So that is all as devotees we can, because I won't tell you that, every situation in this world will be something like you can just take it with a smile. It may not be possible. There are certain situations where you really feel bad about it. What I do, and I'll just give you my practical example, what I do in such kind of situations which are not in my hand completely, where I can see right in front of my eyes that injustice is happening, or let's say I'm seeing that this is not correct what's happening, or this is not in my hand. What I do is I simply at that time count my blessings. I just count my blessings. Okay, fine, at least this thing happened nice to me, or that thing happened nice to me, and I just move ahead, because not every problem has a solution. Sometimes the problems are so damn deep, you can't do anything about it. And sometimes it's so difficult to convince yourself it's your purva janma karma, leave it. Some things will be difficult, to even think in that state. At that time, you just try to count your blessings, and this is what I do. Like let's say, you get a fracture, got a problem. I just thank Krishna. Okay, at least the other hand is working. Okay, at least this is working. Oh, Krishna is so kind. At least this is okay in my life. And I just try to think all the good things in my life and try to, equipoise myself. What else can we do? So we just pray and we just surrender to Krishna, and we count our blessings and try to console our mind. This is all we can do. Take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just read something from Srimad Bhagavatam. That will also help us to be equipoised. I had read somewhere says that individual misery is a suffering, a collective misery is bliss. When you suffer alone, then you feel bad. That means, no, I'm not saying your relatives. What I mean to say is, when you see in Bhagavatam, everybody was suffering. It's not that only we are suffering. Even the Pandavas suffered. Tukaram suffered. Jayadeva Goswami suffered. Srila Prabhupada had to struggle so much. Dhruva Maharaj had to struggle so much. Prahlad Maharaj had to struggle so much. Just see any story in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everybody had to face their own challenges. So, yeah, so we are also facing our own challenges. So we just take it that way and take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam and devotees and count our blessings.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was helpful. And my second question was, Mataji, around, where you said a devotee doesn't get disturbed, the 12th quality that Krishna talks about, right? He doesn't disturb anyone. But sometimes in life, you're put in a position, you might be in a management role where you have to give we just had a year ends, right? You have to give your feedbacks to your team. And, you might talk all good, but, and you might sandwich it and give in a very, very right way the feedback that you want to give, but you might disturb them, right? Because they might go home and there might be karma, they might behave with their family bad, whatever, right? And, or it could be even like you might be, in your Bhakti Vriksha, you are in a position to give some feedback. And that, even if you give it in the best possible way you can, the person might not receive it in a right way, right? They might take offense. So what do you do in this situation where you have to do what you have to do, but the person is not doesn't take it in the right spirit?
Yeah. So what I understand is your question is that sometimes we are in a position where we need to give a feedback. We need to be a little stern or talk something which may not be so pleasant for the other person. Yeah. So that's your seva. So I'm sure, but that's not our intention. It's not our intention to displease somebody, or we're not doing it on purpose. So in our mind, we are in a very humble state of mind, thinking that, look, you just pray in your mind that I don't want to offend this devotee, but this is my seva, and I need to tell him this, or I need to. So we're just doing it on behalf of our guru or behalf of the management, if you are in a corporate structure, or behalf of Krishna. But that's not our intention. And I tell you, Krishna sees our intention more than our action. So Krishna knows that that's not your intention. You don't want to hurt, but you're just doing it as a service, as a seva. So, when we are in our mind, inside our mind, with that humble state of mind, and then we speak whatever is needed to be spoken, then that's all right. Because according to the scripture, Narad Muni once said this to Rukmini Devi, said that there are 2-3 people in our life who can actually correct us. One is our husband who can correct a wife. One is parents who can correct the children, and one is guru. Who is guru? Guru has all the right. If the guru is sometimes harsh, sometimes scolding, or disciple can't say, "Hey, you are doing Vaishnava aparad, Guruji. Why are you telling this to me?" There is no aparad there, because the intention is to correct. Your intention is not to hurt the person. In fact, the correction comes out of so much compassion. I don't think anybody can correct you unless and until their heart is full of compassion, because who in this world would want to correct you?
And
Nobody
there's so much
wants to
work
correct the
that
other
goes
person.
in. I was going to say there's so much work
Yeah.
that goes in compiling that
Yeah.
feedback and delivering
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Who would take the risk of correcting others? We are all in hurry to go back to Krishna, and we don't want to do all that corrections. We are doing it. That means you have so much compassion that you want to correct somebody. So it's all about, again, intention. If your intention is not that, you shouldn't worry so much. And as a manager or in a management structure, you will have to give feedback sometime. But when we do that, we not with the sense of proprietorship or I'm something, but we do it in a humble state of mind. However, the words you may use may not be out of humility, because when you are in that position, sometimes you need to speak a little. Like, I faced that situation in my school, because I'm a principal of a school, and sometimes my teachers will come in with the remedial children, or sometimes with some children who are having issues, or he didn't do his homework, or he didn't do well. So sometimes I do need to keep a stern face, but definitely there's nothing inside me which is stern. I'm like all jolly, but then I have to act it out. Hey, yes, why didn't you do your homework? But yeah, so teachers, guru, parents, husband, they have that liberty to go ahead and make corrections. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mata, you have a few more minutes? We have at least, I think, 4 or 5.
Okay. 10 more minutes. We can go up to 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. Next is Amrutanand Prabhu has a question. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the class. I very much appreciate the way you explain how to connect the instructions of the scriptures to our lives with everyday examples. Makes it easy to understand. My question is related to satisfaction versus saturation. Number one, satisfaction with what we have can lead to complacency. Being satisfied, we can feel whatever Krishna conscious practice we are doing is enough. No hunger or enthusiasm to do more and more. If this is the case, how will taste ruchi develop? Thank you again. That is the question.
Okay, so what I understand is you're saying that if we are satisfied by our Krishna consciousness, won't it lead to complacency? Now, we just did half of those 36 qualities. If we do the rest of the qualities, so many such points will be coming in connection, of these, what I said just now about satisfaction. What are the other things that Krishna relates to that? Where he'll say you are not sarva arambhi, you don't start projects. I'll tell you this so many such things which are connected. So basically, when it comes to spiritual life, what you're really doing is whatever the guru's instruction. So if Srila Prabhupada has asked us that we have to do satatam kirtayanto mam, so where is the question of satisfaction there? We not even reached to the standard there. We are working in that direction. What we're talking here, satisfaction, is mostly about materialistic desires. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, you're always trying to see there's a thin line. At the same time, you don't get into that. I'm just not able to do anything. I'm not good enough. You just maintain a thin balance, and for that a mentor is required. So when we have other Vaishnavas, other people around us, so they help us draw a line somewhere where you're not totally depressed with yourself that I'm nowhere. At the same time, you're not having that ego where I'm just the best. You are somewhere in between. Whatever you are doing, you are happy, and then to satisfy the desire of other devotees who want us to move a little forward, you go a little forward, and like that. That is why we need association of each other, because by ourselves we may become satisfied, but then there are devotees around us who will keep telling us that no, this is what Prabhu, you should do a little more service. Prabhu, you should do a little more book distribution, a little more. So now you're not doing because you are not satisfied. You are doing because you want to satisfy that other devotee, because he's a Vaishnava, and for him you are stretching yourself a little more, and then you're stretching yourself a little more, and that is how you go up in your Krishna conscious service, because you want to satisfy the devotees around you who want to see a little more reading, a little more book distribution, a little more this chanting a little better, and then you just keep doing it. So of course, mainly satisfaction was for materialistic desires, but when it comes to Krishna consciousness, and we always try to do a little more and a little more. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Amritan Rob, is that okay? You have additional questions? Or
We have a
No,
connecting
Prabhu. Thank
thread
you, Mataji.
question to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
next question is
Thank you,
from Vaishnavi Kamtam Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanatnam Mataji, you said that Krishna is monopoly God. If I love my spiritual master more than Krishna, then will Krishna be pleased with me or not?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice question. So the thing is, you love your spiritual master and your spiritual master loves Krishna. So basically you love your spiritual master and then spiritual master shows you the way to Krishna. So it's all connected, and spiritual master is also representative of Krishna. He is representing Krishna here because we're not able to directly see Krishna or communicate with Krishna. So Krishna is communicating with us through the spiritual master, and he's reciprocating with us through spiritual master. So yeah, there's nothing wrong in that because your spiritual master also loves Krishna. I don't know if you have heard this, but many times I give this example. You know, when my little baby boy, younger one, when he was young, you know, I try to feed him something. You know, sometimes you just show them, you know, hey, look at this crow, hey, look at this pigeon, you know, you keep showing them something. Of course, now you don't do that because of smartphones. You just give them a smartphone and you feed them. But then those were the days, you know, showing them something. And I tell you, when they are very young, you know, when you're even showing them, look at that crow, look at that pigeon, they're not looking there. They're looking at you only. How come mommy is becoming so animated? She was so peaceful just now. And suddenly she became so animated. Hey, look at that pigeon, look at that pigeon. The child doesn't look at the pigeon. The child looks at the mother. Just after 2-3 months, as a child grows a little elder, now when you say, look at the pigeon, the child knows where you are pointing to and the child looks at the pigeon. So slowly it happens. So similarly in our lives also, there will be time where we are so attached to our spiritual master that spiritual master is showing you Krishna. That you get attached to Krishna, but you are attached to the spiritual master, you know, because you can't see anything but the spiritual master, and it happens. And then after some time, yes, we get attached to Krishna also. So it's a gradual process, step by step. So it's nice that you're so attached to your spiritual master, and you can continue that because the whole point is you are attached to spiritual master and he's carrying Krishna in his heart, you know, and he's carrying that, you know, he's carrying Krishna in his eyes, he's carrying Krishna in his heart. So there's nothing to worry. So Krishna is not going to feel bad about it.
Thank you, Mataji. Next question is from RGD. Hare Krishna, to be a Vaishnava and trying to take up simple lifestyle facilities, our journey back home, does it mean Vaishnavas cannot choose demanding jobs like leadership, ruling class, business class? What is recommended if you are in demanding position?
Okay, so you said that Vaishnavas means they should have simple lifestyles. So does it mean that Vaishnava don't choose demanding jobs like leadership or business class? What is recommended? I was hearing a class by Lokanath Swami Maharaj just a couple of days ago, and he was saying this principle of KISS, K-I-S-S. He said, keep it simple, stupid. He said, keep it simple, stupid. He said, all the grahastas should have this principle in their life. Keep it simple. Don't complicate your life. Why not you keep it simple? Because we are not here to stay permanently, and we are on a journey, and we need to go back. So if we can keep it simple, see. Prabhupada said simple living, high thinking. But now, is it like that? Simple living and high thinking? Is it not what Prabhupada said? But now it's like
yes.
Complicated living, complicated living, and confused thinking is what is happening with us. We complicated living lifestyles and confused thinking. We don't know what to do. Now, no harm. You want to take up leadership roles, business, you can do that. It's just up to you how much you can take. So basically what we are all doing is we are swimming in this Bhavasagar, material ocean, and we have to get on the other side. Now, there are some people who are very expert swimmers. Now, they can take all the weight on their back and they can swim. There may be some swimmers like me who are not so expert and would like to swim a little lightweight. So it all depends, you know, if you're good at it, just you can go ahead and, you know, you can take up. Ambarish Maharaj was a king having hundreds of wives, managing the whole kingdom, and he was a pure devotee of the Lord. And then there was Sudama, who had nothing, and he was pure devotee of the Lord. And then there is Tukaram, and then there's Jayadev Goswami. So there are scriptures are giving all kinds of examples. They're talking about somebody like Parikshit Maharaj managing the whole world and pure devotees. They're also talking about somebody who was having a simple lifestyle, maybe like Jayadev Goswami or Tukaram, had nothing, don't know what they will eat today, and they were also pure devotees. So it depends upon individual nature and swabhava. There's some people who have a Kshatriya swabhava. Some people have a Brahman swabhava. Some people has a swabhava like a Vaishnava. I've come across some devotees who are having a Brahman swabhava. They can't get into management, and for them it's like a big pressure. They just want to live simply. Oh, I can't get into all this. I just want to read my scriptures, attend morning sadhana program, give some classes, and be happy. But there are some who have a lot of passion and a lot of energy which they can use in Krishna's service. They can manage 10 temples at a time, 100 people under them, and they can do their sadhana also. And then they can, in our ISKCON temples also, I see, there's a cluster combination of different kinds of devotees. I've seen some brahmacharis, they won't do nothing, no service they will do. They'll simply come for the morning program, and then the whole day they will just read scriptures, take rest. They don't want to do anything. If you ask them to do anything, it's for them, it's pressure. And then I've seen some temple managers and leaders who they can do hundreds of things at a time they can do. So do what is your swabhava. If your swabhava is one where you can't, this is becoming too overwhelming, then keep it simple. Keep it simple. The whole point is, if you know what's your goal, and you just take, it's your customized take on it. What is making you comfortable? If you are comfortable taking up these leadership roles and you're happy about it, and that is stimulating your Krishna consciousness, go ahead. There's some people who are like, they love to be in management, they love to manage people, and that makes them happy, and that makes them more closer to Krishna. It can happen sometimes. See, like for some people, when they hear kirtan, for them it's a stimulus. They feel closer to Krishna. For some people, when they read scriptures, memorize verses, they feel closer to Krishna. For some people, you ask them to memorize verse, they feel far away from Krishna. They'll say, don't ask to memorize verse, it's becoming so difficult. I'm forgetting everything. Whatever I remember also, I forget. Please don't ask me to memorize verse. For some people, hearing katha is that they love it. They just want to hear Krishna katha all the time. So yeah, there's so many. What is your stimulus? What makes you get you more closer to Krishna? Do that. If you can take up some leadership roles, and you can even inspire others, and you can do something, just go ahead and do it. Do what is conducive, what keeps you in your, I'm not saying that I'm trying to construct you to your comfort zone and don't stress yourself. You do it, but I think every individual knows where to draw the line. When is it too much for you? When is it disturbing your basic sadhana? You're not able to cope up, then you can slow down. So yeah. So you want to say something? Yeah. So this is what I wanted to say, that no, there's no such hard and fast rule that as devotees don't take up demanding jobs and all, Yeah, I've seen many devotees who are being very good in business, very good in job, and they're very good in their Krishna consciousness also. So yeah, you have to see also your physical health, mental health. Some people have strong bodies, they can manage everything, And then some people they can't just attend one festival and the next day they can't get up for Mangalarti. It's their physical make, of their body. So what can be done? Like that. So whatever is conducive for your Krishna consciousness, you do that.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, Radha Prem Prada Mataji. You had 2 questions. Go ahead. Only 1 more minute is there.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Very beautiful class. Mataji, you talked about senses, that we should not subdue our senses, rather we should do tell them. So in this context, Mataji, there are situations where with our kids, they want to watch sometimes, and they want to watch along with the family to have a family time. So Mataji, how should we, the first thing is how to, this sense of, watching, how to, like, how can you talk on that, how to handle that with them?
Okay. Now, what I'm saying, I'm just saying generally, because I don't know the details of what content that you're talking about watching and all, but I'm just trying to speak something generally. Now, it happens sometimes that the father and mother are initiated and maybe the children are not, and then they have some desires to watch something here and there, which as devotees, maybe you don't want to watch with them. and you are in dharma sankat, what should we do? So now again, it all depends upon what kind of situation and circumstance you are. But then as a grihastha,
Mataji, for example,
are,
Harry Potter, they want to watch TV shows or movies like this. So that will take like 3 hours, at a stretch if we keep watching with them. And that time span is gone. And during the school days, like we had very limited time. So how to, engage them into the spiritual life rather than, watching these, like if you can talk on that part.
Yeah, so I'm saying something, don't record and broadcast it every way that Nitai Sevini Mataji is promoting this, but go ahead and watch Harry Potter with your child. Do that. That's all right. If you don't give them what they want, they won't listen to what you want. So once in a while, yeah, you can definitely, because I'm sure, like I was just mentioning that your inner immunity, I'm sure we are all elders and we have our inner immunity. So sometimes for the sake of kids, these rules can be a little more, bent here and there. Because you see, I feel whatever is being spoken in the scriptures and in our Bhagavatam classes, they're all spoken keeping in mind the brahmacharis and sannyasis. But as grihasthas, if we take them too literally, sometimes we will make our family far away from Krishna consciousness, because they will become averse to Krishna consciousness, because they will see, oh my God, my mother, my father is, doesn't cooperate with us at all. And then they'll start comparing with the other children who have so-called happy families. Now we understand happy families reading Bhagavatam together and discussing Krishna consciousness together, but they're still not in that frame of mind and definitions, because they're still interacting with the outside world. Now the thing which we lack in ISKCON is we don't have ISKCON schools. We don't have such active ISKCON schools where we can give our children that protected atmosphere and association of devotees. So we are forced to send our children outside to the outside world. And now when our kids interact with the outside world, we don't understand, because we are on the other side of the age, how much problem that they are going through, so much confusions that they are going through in their mind. What should I do, because friends are saying this, parents are saying that, and if we don't support them, they will however watch the Harry Potter, but they'll not watch it with you, they'll watch it with their friends. So it's more safer if you watch with them, and and then slowly dovetail them. See, if you just do 1 hour what your child is asking you to do, then 23 hours your child will do what you want them to do. That's one trick of getting your children in your hand. So sometimes you can do some watching with them, or a little bit. Of course, by that I don't mean just any kind of content. No, we censor what content, but what you just mentioned, Harry Potter or something like that, a little bit, some educative movies and all, you can definitely watch with them, and then you can make a contract with them. So let's watch this together, and then let's read Bhagavatam together. Okay, so today we do this together, and tomorrow we all sit and read this together. And that's how slowly you can, I don't know, but as a person who's running a school, I would never advise to force children into Krishna consciousness. I personally don't do that with my children also. I never force them to come for Aarti. I never force them to do anything, because I feel as children, they don't hear what you say, they see what you do. They are like CCTV cameras. So I feel, personally, we set good examples for them, and I give them their time and space, and I don't force them in doing anything. And it will happen slowly. We shouldn't worry so much, because see, Radha Prema Mataji, you came to Krishna. I don't know when you came to Krishna consciousness. I don't know. I'm just giving you, like, sometimes, congregation out there, they have come to Krishna consciousness when they were 35, 40, 45, but they want their children to come in Krishna consciousness when they're 4, 5, 6 years old, and they're making all sorts of arrangements, and they'll put them in all kinds of classes and all. But sometimes they forget that they're children, and they're little children, and you need to give them some space. You shouldn't become too much, because they should not develop averseness towards Krishna consciousness. Give them some space, a little bit healthy space. I'm not saying that you outrightly allow them to do, but yeah, give them a little space. Do spend some time, and sometimes do something what they like, and they will do what you like. Of course, this is a subject in its own. I could elaborate, because it'll be so different, for different situations and different age groups. Again, it'll vary with what age group of children you're talking about. So it's a big subject in its own, actually. But I just tried to give some little rough idea.
Thank you, Mataji. I just wanted to confirm that if we are doing that, we are on the right track. Mataji, if you have time, I have one more question. Otherwise, it's okay, Mataji.
Okay, last one. All right, the last one.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Mataji, in the context of this, only follow up with this. So, when we are also watching with them, I'm talking about myself. So, that rasa comes, that interest comes in that watching, and that's again a distraction for me also. So, how should I, overcome that distraction? Like, what would you suggest?
Couple of years ago, some NRIs came over here and they were staying here in our guest house and they liked the Indian street food. So they went around and had some pav bhaji and, so many other stuff with one of our Indian local guide. And then they came to the guest house and they were having all loose motions and they were all suffering. Now the street food was same pav bhaji, same bhel puri, but the other Indians who are locals, they never suffered. But these NRIs, they suffered. They had all loose motions and all. So now whom do you give the fault? Is it the fault of the pav bhaji or bhel puri, or is it that they just lack immunity? So, right? So what they need to do is just increase their immunity, right? Because the food is same for everybody. Even the Indian fellow ate, nothing happened to him, but these people were affected. So basically, the external things in our life, we can't change. What we can do is we can increase our internal immunity. So you just need to increase your internal immunity. Just because you became devotee, the hoardings on the street, they won't close it. They won't close the movies. They won't close YouTube channels. They won't close bars. They won't close things around you. The external factors will remain same. What you can simply do is increase your internal immunity towards these things. That's the only way to deal with it. So yeah, so they won't change the content of Harry Potter. They won't change the content of the movie. What you can do is increase your internal immunity, and that can be increased when you take shelter of scriptures. When you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you are hearing katha, you are chanting. What happens? Your internal immunity increases to such an extent that this outside street food doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you even when you intake it, because you have an armor around you. And then, if you are in constant remembrance of Krishna by associating, reading, serving, chanting, taking Krishna Prasad, then Krishna protects you. And we can always take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, please protect my mind. I'll tell you one short story. Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, you must have heard about him. He was a fisherman, and then of course he became elevated devotee. And then once it so happened that he was sitting outside his hut, and then some lady came selling fishes. So she just put the basket down and said, Babaji, do you want to buy some fishes? And when he looked at the fishes, for a second, because he was a fisherman before, for a second he felt, wow, looks like, good lot of fish, that delicious lot of fish. And then he thought, what am I thinking? And then he just woo away the fisher woman. Hey, go, I don't want to buy anything, get out from here. And then he went inside the hut and he took his Gaur-Nitai deities and he tied them with a rope and he put them inside the water and he started swearing words. He said, Gaur-Nitai, I worship you so nicely and I do my japa and I serve you so nicely, and see what you do to me. You give me such a bad thought in my mind. How did you dare to give such a bad thought to me? I'm not going to take you out from the water. Stay there in the water till you say sorry, that you will never bring that kind of thought in my mind. And people around are watching, amazed, what is this person doing? And then he takes out Gaur-Nitai from the water after some time and he scolds them. Will you do this again? Will you do this again? Will you bring this kind of thought in my mind? Now imagine what kind of a relation he must be having with the Lord. That means he has given so much of his 100% to the Lord that he had a right to question, Lord, how can you even bring this kind of a thought in my mind? So as devotees, we can always pray to Krishna. Krishna, I'm trying my best. We are all not very pure devotees. We're just trying our best. We're trying our best to focus our mind on Krishna. We are like those toddlers in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we fall and then we get up, and then we fall and we get up, and we keep trying it. So there's nothing wrong when you fall. The whole point is you get up again. So yeah, sometimes you're just watching with children and you'll be like, wow, it's nice and I want to watch a little more, but that's all right. It happens. You're humans, and to err is human. So that's all right. You just take shelter again. You just take shelter again of Srimad Bhagavatam. and then everything will be all right, and at one fine day there'll be so much, we'll be so much saturated with Krishna that there'll be no space for anything else. And then, whatever you do with others will be simply acting. So even if you were laughing with the kids, watching them, but maybe inside you're just thinking something else, like the gopis. They were with their husbands, they were with their wife, with their husbands and children, but they were thinking about Krishna in their mind. So that is what we also want to do, where we do our duties as a householder very perfectly, as a mother, as a wife, but then inside our mind we're just thinking about Krishna, and that will happen slowly. It will happen, but it all depends upon how intensely you take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, how nicely you do your japa. I hope this helps you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. It cleared so many doubts. Wonderful, Mataji. Mataji, just one thing, that is there a way to share the link? You said you do youth forums also, right? So for my daughter, I have daughter, and they used to have Sangha here, Vaishnavi Sangha with one Mataji, but she left for India. She went to India. So they don't have that right now. So is there a way that they can get connected with your classes?
My classes are available on YouTube. I am in particular not doing any youth program. Sometimes I get invited to some youth program. What I was talking about is some Malaysian program, Gaura Sena, and they have started some youngsters group, and I did the inaugural session for them. So yeah, sometimes I do give classes, but myself as whole, I don't have any personal youth group that I'm personally mentoring. But yeah, I do mentor so many other groups whenever they invite me. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. So maybe it's on the Facebook, right?
Yeah, it'll be, all the classes are mostly uploaded in YouTube, and Facebook. Links are given on Facebook, yes. YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Prabhuji will share it with you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
So
thank you so much.
That's, thank you. So
we really thank
shall
you
we
very
end
much.
it?
Yes, Mother, we really thank you very much, and want to continue the other verses and other classes and other topics also. Maybe just Vaishnavi Sangha separately for one class for Matajis if they have unique questions for youth. So I will write to you in the email, Mataji. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya
Kripa
Sindhu
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo
Namo Namah.
Krishna Vindaki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Wonderful.
Thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji.
We have quick announcement. ISKCON